Start.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Elliott Robertson, and today we're going to talk about pruning evergreen trees. So a few objectives. First off, you always have to think about safety when dealing with large things like trees. It can be very dangerous. We're also going to talk about why do we need to prune, why is it necessary, and also how different trees and how they grow matters according to how you can prune them. Alright, so safety, if you're just working with a small shrub, it's not that critical, but you can still cut yourself. But if you have a large tree, you want to always know where the branch is going to fall and know where you need to be to stay out of the way of the tree. So a hard hat is always necessary when you have branches that could potentially harm you. And you also shouldn't do it unless you're experienced with it. You could prune small trees, but if you're dealing with larger branches and having to climb up in the tree to prune, you shouldn't do it unless you're experienced. Also, safety glasses should be worn. Sawdust or anything could harm your eyes, so that's always important as well. Okay, so why prune? To me, I think the reason we have to prune most often is people plant the wrong species of plant in the wrong area. You can find a lot of places on campus or anywhere where they plant a tree that's going to get 30 feet tall, 5 feet from a building. It looks good at the time when you plant it, but you got to look at the mature size of the tree. And that's usually why we end up pruning, because if you plant a tree right next to a building or something else, you're going to have to prune it back to prevent, if it failed, it could harm the building. And also, sometimes you have to prune to make your shrub or tree more compact, to make it form better with your landscape, and also to remove dead branches. That's probably the most useful way, but like I said, the way it's used mostly is because the wrong tree is planted. Okay, so pruning a pine is probably one of the most common evergreen trees around here. Pinus strobus is the Latin name, and eastern white pine is the common name. And it's kind of different because it has a dead zone. As you can see here, we have growth up here, but there's no growth down here. So if you prune this down here, it will not grow anymore. But if you prune it in here, there's buds down through here, lateral buds, and there's a terminal bud at the end. So you can prune in here, but if you prune down here, it will never grow back. So, it's pretty pointless. If you're going to do that, you might as well just cut it all the way back to the main branch. But the best way to prune pines is like you see in that picture. It hasn't happened yet here, but it will be probably a couple weeks to a month. And the new growth will start to emerge from this terminal bud. And it looks kind of like a candle. And once it grows out, you cut it like halfway back. And that'll, that's the best way to prune these without harming them. As you can see in this picture, do not prune in this area. Down there, it's never going to grow back. And for spruces and firs, these are also common around here. Norway spruce is one of the most common ones. This is very similar to pruning pines as well, as you want to cut back the growth in the spring. But I'll pass this around, and you can see the buds on this one. So you can see the lateral buds. On the pine you can't see them because they're so small, but on that one you can see them. And you can see right here it's growing out the side as well, where the pine doesn't do that as much. So you can prune that new growth back all the way around, and that'll make it more compact. And also right here is showing how to train a new leader. It's cutting back that main stem right there, and then you can make that one your new main leader, like they have it tied up right there, if you wanted to make a new leader. And here's where I was talking about the larger branches. Sometimes you'll have one that's leaning down or out over something that you don't want it to be. So you're going to have to prune it, and this is a good way to do it. You can see you make your first cut up through the bottom of the branch. This is to prevent the bark from tearing down the trunk, which could harm the tree. So if you make that first cut up, it'll help the branch fall down and not harm the tree. So your second cut comes all the way through and the branch falls. So then all the weight is off the branch, so then you can go back and make your third cut right at the branch collar, so then it can heal over the wound successfully. So in conclusion, sometimes you have to prune, but I think if you plant the right tree in the right area, you know, the tree will do what it has to do. So the natural form is usually the best, I think. Heading cuts should always be avoided. That's, you know, like I said, just cutting back to the branch just to get rid of an entire branch. You should try to, you know, thin it out first. It's going to look better down the road. And always know how the tree grows according to how you can prune it, because all trees are different, and especially evergreens, because some of them have these dead zones. So it's pretty much useless to prune in this area. So, and